Welcome. Yo. Let's continue where we left off. Let me actually change the title of the stream because can I do that? I think I cannot even do that while it's running. Whatever. I think it's still called episode 2, but it's actually episode 3. Yeah. What I was trying to do was I checked out Boron, which was the bar I made a long time ago, and I was trying to figure out why it segfaulted, because it's basically, yeah, like the bar of my window manager. But for some reason, I think LF slider segfaults. I mean, we can quickly dig into that. Maybe we should like quickly see, and if we cannot fix it, then let's just not fix it. But I think it's worth checking out, right? So it should be somewhere here. LF slider. I think it's an easy API actually. LF slider. Let's see. Or is it UI value? I mean, what I can try to do is to do something like get checkout dash, and then like, let's see, mostly static changes, Rave animation system. I think let's check out that transfer here. Let's try to make, and it won't work because Rave is basically not in sync with that, which is like a very bad thing because I didn't vendor Rave, which is like the UI framework, which is like making all of this very hard. Maybe like we can kind of just guess. Maybe it's that. And so make install. By the way, where's my chat? Here. So let's see. Boron make. Okay. So I'm guessing it's yeah, I don't care. I don't want to get into that because I would have to guess which commit was the correct one, and I just like I don't want to get into that. Bro, I have such a problem with my desktops because I don't even see them. That's like the point why I was trying to get the bar working, because then I could see on which desktop I am. But yeah. Okay, so we have left off at where have we left off? Get idea swap chain. Okay, yeah. Right, get swap chain info to do. Okay, so we were at create swap chain. So yeah, let's see. Let's open actually our other Vulkan engine in here. Go into here and go into create swap chain. So we can see how we did that. Okay, so we get the info, then we get this info, and then we do n images. And if we have max image count entered in n images is greater than okay, then we just so let's just say something like let image count is equal to, and then we should probably pass the info. So how do we get the info, by the way? Here. So we should pass the info. So let's do something like I think this should be just borrowed, right? And then we have the swap chain info, which is a swap chain info. And we will kind of get the capabilities dot it's actually, yeah, capabilities dot max image count. What will it return? Surface capabilities. Can I just, yeah, like that. And is there something like max? Is there something like max? There is not. Sure, there has to be, right? Okay. Let's see the CMP max. What's up? I cannot really. Strahina Adamov. What's up? What's up? Welcome to the stream. Okay, so just max of that and image count. Why are there so many? What the fuck is that? Okay. So this should work. Yeah, so we kind of okay, I get it. So we kind of have this whole swap chain state in here. So I don't know, we should probably also have a swap chain state which we pass. Yeah, so let's create that. Something like struct swap chain. And it's going to have something like image count is a U size. It's actually a U32. Best theme as always. Thank you, man. It's just the Groovebox theme, but I changed the background color to be darker. Yeah. Okay, so let's pass the swap chain. Swap chain. And we will just say swap chain dot image count. Okay, so that's the current image count. And then we do, okay, so we allocate depth buffers, but we actually don't need to do that because we don't really need depth buffers. I think we don't, right? Yeah, we might, but I don't know. Okay, so we just have the create info, the families, and we just create the swap chain, so that looks kind of easy. And we get the swap chain images. Okay, that's also important, yeah. Right, okay, so let's create the create info. That's very Vulkan. Let's create the create info. Okay, so create info is equal to vk swap chain create info khr. So, and then we will probably need something like surface, min image count. Yeah, let's try and do surface. Hey, are you German? You sound kind of German. Yes, I'm German. So we basically will pass the surface, right? So let's pass the surface. Let's just do that. Expected surface KHR, font surface KHR. Interesting. Can I not do that? Surface like that? Yeah. By the way, I am using Rust since like now it's been like 6 days, I think. So yeah, I'm still learning and yeah, trying out the language. So because like as you can see, all of this code here is my C code base of another renderer of like a 2D vector graphics compute style engine that basically uses all of those compute shaders here to basically implement a path rasterizer to make like blazingly fast vector graphics rendering in 2D possible. But this project is very hard. Like, it's literally just very hard. Which is why I basically relapsed and now I'm making this Rust project because, yeah, that's kind of easier. How is Rust compared to C? I'm currently learning C++ in university. Compared to how is Rust compared to C++? Yeah, like I don't know how to compare that. I mean, it's not object oriented. It's kind of like if I would need to choose between the two, I would use Rust. But I also use C++ a lot. But it's been like a few years before since I basically used it. So yeah, I don't really know how to compare them, but yeah, I would choose Rust over C++. Okay, so we need the image format, the image color space, image extent. Okay, so I think the image extent is something we should worry about. Is equal to extent, and how did we get that? Get swap chain extent. Ah, okay, I remember we wanted to implement that function. All right, so let's implement it. Get swap chain extend, and what do we want to take? We want to probably, yeah, we will need some stuff. Info. So swap chain. Why do we pass that as a pointer? Okay, it's a const pointer. That's good. Okay. So if the current extent dot width is not equal to un32t max, then we return the current extent. Okay. And here we just say max extent and extent. C or min. Ah, okay. Ah, okay, I get it. Okay, so we should probably store the capabilities. But now the thing is, I think we should get the capabilities from the swap chain info, to be honest. Because the capabilities are... Oh! The capabilities actually have... Okay, the actual capabilities are actually kind of dynamic because they have something like current extent. So I think we might have to recompute swap chain info each time we create the swap chain. So yeah, I think we need to do that. So let's actually do this here and use physdef like this and have the swap chain info not be here, and then yeah, and then we can pass it to the function. So let's say swap chain, how did we call that? Swap info. Okay, so this is going to be a swap chain info, and it's returning I would just say an extent 2D. Yeah, I think that's okay. We don't need to return the anyhow result thingy. So okay. So and then we say yeah, then we say swap info dot can you not? Swap info dot capabilities dot current extent. So if, and with the width, then we okay, we'll just check it with the width. So let's say if the width is not equal to, then now the question is, how do they, like UN33 max, how do I get that in Rust? UN32T max Rust. Ah, nice. Okay, so not equal to that. then we will just return swap info dot capabilities at current extent. We might as well just pass the capabilities, right? Is the current extent not an extent to D? It is. So yeah, we might have to, I think. So let's pass something like width. Yo, welcome, Piodi. It just like this translating thing is awful. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. So let's pass the width and the hello. What's happened to my keyword? Yeah, width and the height, and we'll just say let extend is equal to extend to the width height, right? And then if, and then like extend dot width is equal to std cmp min. So std cmp min width, and then swap info dot capabilities dot min image extent dot width. And I think, yeah. Okay, but obviously with the max image extent, so yeah. And the same for height. Right. What should I consider? Consider returning. What the fuck? Ah, okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being so smart, Rust. Ah, mutes. Of course, mutes, right? I'm thinking if we might be able to do this in a more clean way, but I think it will not be more clean if we just have it in here. Or will it? I don't know. I don't think so. So let's have max and max and min and min. What idea are you using? It looks fancy. Ah, you mean, bro, you mean IDE or idea? Yeah. I'm using Envim, so just Neovim, yeah. Do you know Golang? No, I never tried it. Should maybe try it. Okay, so get swap chain extent, right? When do we get the swap chain extent, by the way? Before that, okay. So then let's say extend is equal to, is it called extend? Bro, it's called extend. Okay. Yeah. Extend. Let's actually make my autism happy. Thank you. And then maybe even something like that. All right. And then we do self get swap chain extent. First stuff. I'm wondering, like, by the way, let me show you. Let's actually. What's your fucking problem? Hello? Get swap chain extent. What do you take? Swap chain info. Ah, okay. Sorry. So you take swap chain info. And the width and the height. We should probably pass the width and the height here. So, width, height. And then we do the image extent is equal to extent, right? Yeah. FMT. Okay, I think FMT is just the ideal swap chain format. So, cannot find surface inst. Did I, bruh? Okay, I think this was something like surface inst. I'm sure I have another surface inst somewhere here. Okay, so that's okay, and then the color space, image color space. Okay, it's called that. Is going to be FMT, no, swap chain info dot ideal surface format dot color space, right? Min image count, we have that. Okay, image array layers, okay, interesting. One. Image usage is an image usage. Can I say something like VK image usage flags? I think you mean that, right? Image usage flags, probably. Color attachment, nice. Is that nvim or your own config? It's nvchat, by the way. It's nvchat, yeah. Image usage flags. I just changed up the theme a bit. Yeah, and that's it basically. Transfer DT. I don't know if you can. You should probably be able to do that in Rust, right? So the like, just yeah, you can OR together the flags. Okay. Unexpected token. Okay, so that's the create info. Do we have to? Yeah, we have to retransform. What WM do you use? I use Ragnar WM. It's my own window manager, yeah. You can check it out here, git.com/cococry/Ragnar. Okay, so let's say swap chain info capabilities dot current transform. This should perfectly match, right? Am I right? Am I? Hello? Thank you, LSP, for not giving me anything. Have you ever did some network programming? Not really, like network programming. Like, what do you mean by that? But something like writing an instant messenger, which is the current project. I never did that before, so no. Composite alpha is composite alpha opaque bit. Okay, so how am I supposed to? Is there something like VK composite? Alpha flags. Okay, thank you. Opaque. Ragnar, you started when you were 15. 15, bro. German coming out. Yeah. I started there. So, yeah. Composite alpha present mode. Okay. Is the swap chain info dot ideal present mode. I came back to this channel after 2 years, was impressed by the things you wrote. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Hi, new here. Welcome, Santi. 34 milligram. Welcome, welcome. Okay, and then we set clip to true, right? I think that will be easy. Expected U32, insane. Okay, so we say 1. What is there? I'm sure there's something like, yeah, VK true. Nice. Okay, and then we do the call. By the way, do we... Okay, we created in... Wait. Okay, so we recreated in the resize and created once at startup. Okay. Okay, so where's the create function? Create image? No, you have to be kidding me, right? But I think this is another, yeah. Wait, what? Create swap chain, okay, crazy. We have to create the images, right? Yeah, makes sense, but I don't know if there is VMA for Rust. Haha, just Santi, yeah. Okay. Gonna kill you, Santi, then. So I'm wondering how I create the swap chain in Ash. Let's just see how that's done. So let's go to Ash here. Create swap chain. Create swap chain in swap chain device. Okay. And you have to probably create a swap chain device somehow. Okay, but create swap chain KHR is in device FN. Interesting. So I think I think I might be able to just say KHR swap chain device FN. I cannot. Can I say new? Or like how am I supposed to use that? Q present KHR load clone from. Okay, that's kind of dodgy, right? Create swap chain. Create. Okay, so this is what we should be able to use actually. Struct device. Okay, easy. Yeah, I get it. So this is just taking in the logical device, right? So I think after here we can say logical def is a VK device, and logical def. Did we call it logical def, by the way? Logical device. But I think in the parameters we always said logical def. We actually never use the logical def, so let's just have a convention of now using logical def in the parameters. I think I want to have that into. Started using DWM. Wait, do you see AMD GPU? I remember not being able to run Ragnar on my NVIDIA year ago. So I'm using an AMD GPU, but it should also work on NVIDIA. Because I was using NVIDIA for a long time and it always like worked, so yeah. I'm learning Rust and I love the language so far. I was wondering how to even start developing software with Rust. Like, I have built web APIs, but how do I do systems in Rust? Yeah, like, I don't know. So I came from C and I just use all of the C low-level libraries that I can find, and basically avoided all of this like very high-level libraries, and just implemented them on my own. So for example, there is windowing in Rust with winit, and I just use XCB and Wayland natively, so that's already kind of the system's programming aspect that you already have there, right? So I think just like you have to, like, I don't know really what you're trying to make, but for UI or like applications, you can easily just implement your own thing. Because like I'm also learning Rust since like 5-6 days, and I was able to really easily set everything up. I think the cargo cargo package manager is actually very cool. Yeah. So yeah. Why Rust and not C++? By the way, the color scheme is Groovebox with the background being a little bit darker. And why Rust and not C++? Like, probably because I don't really like C++. I use C++ a lot in like a long time ago, where I was developing on Windows, And yeah, I was very young, like I was 13 at the time or something. And I don't know, it's like I'm not really feeling any OOP, so yeah. But the reason I am learning Rust is just to show to myself that I don't really care about the language. Like even if I use C++, I wouldn't like the language I write in is not really important for me. So I don't really care, like, for real. Okay, so let's do the logical def. Create swap chain. I think you should do that. Wait, so how do we create the logical def? Here, create a logical device and we return an ash device. Okay, gotcha. Logical def is an ash device. So let's create a swap. Hello. Mr. Documentation, hello. So it's a bro. What happened here? It's a KHR swap chain device. Okay, what? And you have to, bro, like, why is it like that? Can anybody explain why they like why is there a device for each different basically thing in Rust? Why don't we just have one device like a normal Vulkan? I mean, not in Rust, and like Vulkan. Why do we have to have a swap chain device, a logical device? I don't know, like, that doesn't really make sense to me. And we always have to create a new device from the device that we already have. Yeah. And then like some functions work on the normal device and others don't. So yeah, I don't really see the point. Let's actually set this up like that. Okay, so we want to do we need a swap chain for that? No, we don't. We just need the instance and device. So I guess we will just take in the swap chain def like that, and we will say something like ash khr swap chain device, and then we will say swap chain def. No. So swap chain def. It's nice seeing people not use agentic AI slop code editors. Yeah, bro, like agentic code editors are like the pinnacle of, yeah, of I don't know. I want to say a bad word. I just don't say any word. I think we all know that here. So yeah. Okay, so swap chain device dot create swap chain with the create info and none for the allocation callbacks. And we want to borrow that. Okay, so say something like that swap chain is equal to. But wait. So how do we manage the swap chain actually? VK create swap chain with swap chain handle. And swap chain handle is a VK swap chain KHR. All right. We should probably just return the swap chain handle. Yeah. Okay, so let's say swap chain handle and call to unsafe function. Is that in, bro? I thought the reason for this like device kind of weirdness is that the functions can be safe, but it's not even safe. So, like, for real, what the fuck? While parsing, call to unsafe function is unsafe. Yeah, I know. No, okay. So yeah, okay, so that's basically creating the swap chain. And we want to also get the swap chain images. Okay, okay. Do we need anything like beyond that? Let's try to figure that out. Dimensions. Okay, we set the dimensions. Do we want to return a swap chain? Wayland or Xorg? It's Xorg. Do we want to return the swap chain? I think we want to return the swap chain, so we will just return actually a swap chain. And then we will say the swap chain is just encapsulating all of this stuff, like the images. So let's see, swap chain images is just an array of VK image. So let's have images is a vec of VK image. And where's my music actually running? Here. Let's skip that. Hello? I don't know how to skip an MVP. Let's check. MPV skip. Terminal or like CLI. Skip song CLI. CLI. Hello? CLI. Reference manual. Bro, this is like the best reference manual I have ever seen. Can I just G that? Next track. Oh, wait, let me check. Thank you, Mr. Reddit. Okay. If you use different frame rate monitors, how do you manage not to have tearing in Xorg? Yeah, that's actually like a thing in Xorg that is like very annoying to me. I've got it working. Like I remember having 165 hertz monitor and 60 hertz monitor, and being perfectly able to get basically both at their respective frame rates without any tearing. But now I'm in a situation where I just don't get the 160 hertz monitor to behave as a 160 hertz monitor. It's just going to be 60 hertz for some reason. But I don't really care, so yeah. Yeah. A field by that name exists in self. Okay. Okay, so we want the images, we want the dimensions, which is just, or let's call this extent, which is just an extent. Yeah. Okay, so here, by the way, did I even, no. Let's have something like handle. I like, it's very nice that they all fit into like the same letter region. Like, you have to appreciate that. Yeah, okay, so swap chain KHR. Wait. So I think create swap chain returns a swap chain KHR, right? Yeah. Okay, but I don't feel like using that because we don't use any of the VK stuff. So let's just not. Okay, so this is that. If you I already read that. Yeah. Okay, so the swap chain handle, then the extend is just the extend, we already have that, and then the images. So let's see. So I think, yeah, this is just for getting the n images. So let's see, can I do something like swap chain device dot get swap chain images, and what does it take? It's taking a swap chain handle, And what does it return? Just a nice. A vec of images, that's perfect. So let's say add images to that. And obviously it's unsafe. Great. Nice. Yeah, so those are the images. This is very like easy, okay. Image views. Okay. Image views depth and image depth images and images in flight. Interesting. Okay, so I think we should pre-allocate all of them. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So let's do that. Here's a vec of vk image view. And image views depth and depth images. Images, okay. And frames in flight. Frames in flight? Images in flight, okay. A fence, and this is a image. Alright. Swap chain handle images, so we are pre-allocating all of them. So let's also do that. So let me see, do we... Like the thing is, we kind of need to get rid of all of the other allocated stuff. I don't even know how to do that in Rust. Don't even know how to do that in Rust. Can I not just reporting from an already working C project, or is the C code to interface with Vulkan? The C code, like this C code, is just a Vulkan project that happens to also use Vulkan. And that's basically the guide for me to implement Vulkan for this project. Because, yeah. Because this is something I already wrote. Yeah. Let me actually see. So, Rust pass or Rust mutate argument. Okay. So then let's do this like that. And actually return an empty result and modify the swap chain in place. And we should probably also store swap info inside the swap chain then. Okay, now the question is, do we store surface? No, I think we don't. So let's also not do that here. And let's do swap chain info actually. Love from Morocco. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. All right. White crane or kiwi? I don't really know what you mean by that. Yeah. Okay, so we have all of this. We have this. Okay, so we can mutate the thing in place. Right, so let's see. Right. Can I, like, how do I deallocate a vector in Rust? Let's see. Deallocate vector Rust. Or like, how is that even managed? I don't even know. Can I just empty the vector and it will just work? Probably, right? Like I expect Rust to be like that. What if I just say something like swap chain dot, is it drop? Might be, I don't know. Drop. This effectively does nothing for types which implement copy. Okay, nice. So I don't know. Are you supposed to do that in Rust? Do you know that? Are you supposed to do it like this, or is there something like clear? Clears the vector, removing all those. Note that this method has no effect on the allocated capacity of the vector. Interesting. I think that's actually what we want. Because we don't necessarily want to deallocate it. Specifically, no. I think that's good. Are you interested in trying Rust? C++ Rust? I think it's interesting. Yes, I'm using Rust currently. But you mean Crust? Crust. Ah, you mean Crust. Isn't Crust a yeah, it's just a project consulting, yeah. I never really understood this project because I never really used Rust, so maybe I get it now. Yeah. Probably have to check that out. Is it just like basically C, like semantically, but with the syntax of Rust? It looks like it. Yeah. But I mean, Crust, like, I don't know, like, if I want to use C, then I'll use C, right? But, yeah. Do we clear all the, I think we clear all the vectors. Yeah. Oh, so images, and then like images in flight, and also the depth images. And I think we can then say something like, is there something like reserve? Yeah. Nice. Okay, so let's say dot clear. I think it depends if you want to deallocate or just clear the contents. Yeah, I think I want to just clear the contents because we basically not need to like deallocate the entire thing because we still use it. In C, we deallocate the entire thing because it could also be the case that this will allocate like it can be the case that the swap chain suddenly changes images. So to account for that, we just reallocate the entire thing. So I think that's like the normal thing to do in C, but I think we can do it better here. So let's just reserve images dot, was it like len? I think it was len. Okay, yeah. Got that. Nice. Okay, so So that, yeah. Mm. Can I do that? Can I just say something like for image and images? Wait. So images in flight is just the same thing, so we can just say for images in swap chain dot images in flight. We want to say image dot like image is equal to vk null handle. Can I not? Okay. They don't have that. Let's see if they have that. They don't. Okay, I'll do it like this. So I'm pretty sure I can do a vk image null. Images in flight. Okay. Is it really just warning about this? Ah, it's an actual one. Okay. So fence. Can I say let mute image? Dude. How can I? Oh my god. Is the I think the easiest way I can think of is just doing something like dot iter dot enumerate, and we say swap chain dot. Bro, why is my, oh my god, it's not even, I think my LSP is not even working anymore. Swap chain dot images in flight at index is equal to that. Bro, you cannot tell me that won't work, right? Swap chain is so it cannot be borrowed as mutable. Wait, okay. Do you just mean I want to do that? Bro, it's literally mutable now. Because it is also borrowed as immutable. Cannot borrow such images in flight as mutable because it is also borrowed as immutable. Right. Can I say iter mute? Iter mute, yeah. So why doesn't that work then? But this language is kind of like it's rage baiting all the time for real. Do I like? Or can I then do image is equal to vk fence null? Consider dereferencing here to assign the mutably borrowed value. So like this. Oh my god, thank you, finally. No, 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 what? Ah, okay, I think it's because of that now. Finally, oh my god. Okay. Right. Okay, and then we basically get all of those into the swap chain. Peak depth format. Okay, okay. We have a logical device for the swap chain. This is kind of weird. And a format, but I think the format, I mean, we already have the ideal format, right? Wait, so ideal. Like, can we just say, can we, by the way, just say something like swap chain dot, yeah, I need to reopen my env because my fucking LSP doesn't work. Let's say something like swap chain dot, you pushed your Firefox cookies. Where did I put my... What? Where? This feels like a very bad thing. I don't know. On your dots. Bro, when was this? 2 years ago? Firefox? Oh. Oh. Right. Right, right. Okay, okay. Is there something interesting here? Like... I don't know. Feels like very uninteresting, but I'm not into cookies at all, so I would like an history file would be interesting. Chrome. Bookmark backups, bookmarks. Yeah. I don't really like. What I can do is just remove it. So, oh my god, by the way, dot files, is there? Yeah, okay, there's no cool things like here, in here. So let's remove Firefox and say removed Firefox. Bruh, I'm not even, oh my god. Not even authorized for that project. Let me quickly do a little bit of an SSH clone here. And I think I might just push my SSH private key if we're already added, so let me quickly push that. Firefox. Wait, no, I removed it, but I think it's not a bad thing because yeah. Might as well remove the repo, right? It's on Firefox Q62. Okay, here. Cookies. Okay, okay. View raw. Choose application. Open link. But like, are you telling me that? Okay, so is there like a cookies SQLite interpreter, or like can you say me like what kind of information can you get with that? Because I'm really like not into cookies at all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Pretty dumb, yeah. Your Google sessions as an example. Okay. Yeah. I don't feel like I have anything weird going on there. So I think it might be okay. You can actually query replace that. And also in general, let's actually make swapchain.swap info not be swapchain.swap info, but swapchain.info, right? So let's have that as info. And then let's do swap info. Yeah, okay, that's bad. Let's see, swap info. Let's just say chain.swapinfo, chain.info, like that. Okay. Right. So we have that. Okay, so let's say swap chain. And I think we might as well do we by the way already have an images? Yeah, we already have an images probably. By the way, we should we? No, we should just say something like swap chain dot images is equal to images. And then swap chain dot extent is equal to extent and picking the depth format. Okay. Okay, let's implement that. Pick depth FMT. And what am I going to choose? We are going to what? Just a physical device. Okay. So let's have a fistf. And a VK format. So how do I even have an array in Rust? I never even had to use an array. Let array let candidates is equal to probably VK format. 1 2 3 4 is equal to and then we comma like okay, that's insane. We have to separate them by d32s float vec. Yeah, but isn't that like yeah, I know vec, but isn't like it better to just have an array? Because why do I need to have the overhead of vec or vectors if I just want a simple array, right? Expected format, bro, can I do that? Expected semicolon. Expected format i32 font format. Wait, what? What do you mean? Might as well just do vec then. I don't really want to mess with that. Can I just say vk format sfloat, please? Yes, thank you. And then sfloat again. So uint unorm. You had an extra equals. Ah, thank you, man. Okay, so I have to. Okay. Ah, that makes sense. Dude, for real, thank you. Clutch, I might say. Okay, so this. Okay, do I want to comma separate them? I don't. So why do I expect that from me? Like what? So in the example, they just comma separate them. I mean, like semicolon separate them. Ah, okay. Here they comma separate them. Wait, so this is equal to just comma separated. Expected format for, like, is it just about bruh? Is it? I think it's just warning me about that I don't have. It's 4, right? Yeah. Okay. So those are the candidates, and then we go through the candidates and basically query the physical device. If this is like an optimal tiling feature. So basically checking, yeah, what kind. But why do we do the depth stencil attachment bit? This is a bit weird, but okay. So for candidates, in candidates, we want to say first device dot actually, I think it's going to be something like vkget. So I think it's going to be something like instance, right? So instance. Let me see. Create instance. Create Vulkan surface instance, an ash instance. Alright, so let's have an ash instance. So instance dot get physical device format properties with the first device and the format being candidates.i. So let props is equal to arm save probably. We don't want to use that operator. Mismatched. Okay, so probably this. Or more like this. Okay, makes sense. So those are the props, and then we do if props dot optimal tiling features and vk format feature flags stencil depth stencil attachment. Then we want to return candidate, and here we want to return vk format undefined. Looking good, but I think Rust, you are supposed to do that. Mismatch types, expected bool font format feature flags. Okay, like, how do you do that in Rust? think like that. Okay, cool. We want to probably do this. And might as well even do this. And definitely we'll do this. Alright. Okay, so picking the depth format. We also want to specify that in the swap chain apparently, so let's actually have that into the info, right? So depth, ideal depth FMT VK format. Right, and then we can just get it here, right? So ideal depth format is going to be get get ideal swap chain depth FMT. I'm just going to take in the instance. What kind of instance? We don't get the instance here. Instance, instance. So the instance and the fistf. Let's get them like this. Because why not? And those guys need to be dereferenced. And in here we just say ideal depth format. Let's clean that up a bit. Alright, looking good. Yeah, let's maybe do a little bit of that. So what do you want? You probably will want the normal physical device. And you also need the instance. Okay, so let's say instance, instance. Wait, so I think we don't need this and this. Okay. So that's going to be the depth format, right? Yeah, we probably want to say also something like if swapchain.info.ideal depth format is equal to vk format undefined anyhow bail no supported Vulkan depth format found swapchain found for application in your swapchain. Okay. And then we're actually going to create the images, right? And the image views. Right, so let's try and do that. Like that. So for image in swapchain dot images, right? So do we want to actually iterate the images? I don't even know. It's kind of, it doesn't really matter what kind of thing we iterate because they are the same length. Do we need the index? Do we need I somewhere? That is like not, yeah, we will kind of need I. So can we say dot index image and then dot iter dot enumerate. Right, okay. depth image info. So the thing is VMA create info, create image. Let's actually see something like Rust Vulkan memory allocator. Can I say something like create image, create image? Nice, okay. And what about buffer? Create buffer. I think we will use that, right? Do we want to use that? VKMM. Can I see like? Can I see the GitHub somewhere? GitHub. Repository. 2 years ago, 4 months ago. I think this looks okay, right? So yeah, might as well use that. Okay, but yo, what's up, man? Let's get one. Welcome to the chat. Okay. So we kind of will need that. Might as well copy that into here and say something like let depth image info is equal to vk image create info default and image type, let's say image type is vk image type 2D. All right, format is depth format. Okay, format is our swap chain dot info, ideal depth format. Right, okay. Extend is a different thing than a 2D extend, probably, right? Extend 3D, okay, that's crazy. So extend is going to be an extend 3D with width, height, and depth being 1. What am I doing? I'm implementing I'm implementing a how do you call that? Instant messenger in Rust, where I basically want to message my friends. And I already have a OpenGL graphics backend that's handling like the low-level GPU interface stuff. And now I want to have a Vulkan one so that this whole thing here, like the UI rendering and text rendering, can all correctly and nicely be drawn with Vulkan and be faster than OpenGL. Or like faster is like a wild take maybe, but it should theoretically be faster, right? So yeah, that's what we're doing. MIP levels and array layers. MIP levels 1, array layers 1. What will it be used for? Like the game Rust? What do you mean by a game Rust? Like it's not a game, it's an application basically. Okay, samples, VK sample count flags type 1. Okay, nice that you actually can multi-sample here. The video game Rust, is it for that? Ah, you mean, bro, you mean the video game Rust? No, it's a programming language that's called Rust. Yeah, it's actually not the game. Yeah, Can Vulkan save my marriage? Can Vulkan save my marriage? I read that correctly. Um. Uh. Hmm. I don't know. Maybe. Oh yeah. Yeah. So not the game, Rust, man. Not the game. It's in fact not the game. By the way, guys, can you like? I normally don't ask that, but can you subscribe to the channel, because I think I need like 5 subscribers and I have 15k subscribers. So that would be like kind of cool, I guess. Can I even? I don't know how I can even see that. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so tiling, VK. Image tiling, we want optimal image tiling, right? We don't want non-optimal image tiling. Usage is going to be VK image usage flag step stencil attachment. Makes sense. Sharing modes, VK sharing mode exclusive. We will not be sharing our precious depth attachment, right, guys? Initial layout will be actually layout undefined. Okay, interesting. And that's it for the thing, right? So let's remove that thing. Missing structure fields. Can you please shut the fuck up? Thank you. Right. Okay. Didn't want to open that actually. Okay, so I think we will basically need to import cargo and vkmem. All right, so let's dig into vkmem. How am I supposed to use vkmem? It's like very cool that there are no examples whatsoever, but let's just say create image. Bro, create image automatically creates an image. This function automatically creates an image, allocating appropriate memory for it, and binds the image with the memory. If the function succeeds, you must destroy both image and allocation when you no longer lead them, using either convenience function allocate to destroy image or separately using ash device destroy image. Is this like part of ash actually? This would be cool, but I don't think so. It's probably just referencing ash, because ash is like the only Vulkan bindings that are like really maintained in Rust. Right, so can we, okay, we have a create info, so I think this looks promising. Right, so I think we don't need to like have some kind of global state set up or something. So where is that in? It's trade alloc. All right, so alloc. Wait. vkmem alloc. Is there something like vkmem alloc new? Trade alloc. Let's see. How do I use trade alloc? So I'm guessing maybe it's not giving me the correct thing because of me just fucking everything up in the department of like the syntax of Rust. So let's say something like how do we want to name that? The image or something is equal to vkmem alloc create image. Do I have to like What? Do I have to implement that or some shit? I think I don't, right? So image info is going to be the depth image info. Do we have to pass it by thing? Yeah. Right? Yeah. And then like the allocation create info. Alloc info is equal to allocation create info. And then usage. Do we just can we just thank you, man? Is just something like, and what is the usage? Memory usage, and memory usage is just a, like, what kind of memory usage is that? Is this like, where is it defined? Memory usage, VK memory usage, GPU only. Wait, GPU only? Okay. And then, okay, required flags is just going to be memory property device local bit. Okay, we can memory property flags, probably that, right? Device local. So I think this, yeah, it's just going to use device local memory, which is cool. Alloc info. Missing field flagged. Okay, can I just say, why is GPU only crossed out, dude? Can I just say default, thank you? Use of deprecated, what? What the fuck are you talking about? What? No way. Why is like why is that deprecated? Allocation may still end up in host buzzer on some implementation. In such case, you are free to map it. You can use. Why is this deprecated, dude? Can you at least tell me what I should use instead? It's all deprecated. Okay, lazily allocated GPU memory having guarantees to be lazily allocated exists mostly on mobile platforms. Okay, don't really want that. Auto. Auto prefer device. Okay, I think that's basically that. Selects best memory type automatically with preference for GPU device memory. When using this flag, if you want to map the allocation, you must pass one of the flags. Create host access sequential write bit or create. Okay, it can be used only with functions that let the library know. Yeah. I find it weird that they're referencing VMA functions. Like, do they have VMA? Like, they don't even have the functions. So why do they do that? Or maybe they have them. I don't know. No. So, VMA Rust. Is there VMA Rust? Bruh, there is VMA. Shut the fuck up. Cargo remove VKMem. memvk, or what was your problem? VK dash mem. Image info, depth image info, and create info is going to be the create info. And let me see. Swap chain. What? Location create info. Allocation create info. No default. No. Gen Q, why Rust out of everything? Yeah, I'm just trying out Rust, seeing how it is. So yeah, it's like it's whatever, I guess. Bro, what is even your problem? Can you, like, not yours, like this function's problem? Like Rust is for real just rage baiting at this point. Expected 3 arguments, found 2. Provide the argument allocation create info. Image create info. So that's an image create info. Allocation create info. I'm providing both, by the way. So I'm providing both. But maybe I'm not supposed to use it like that. So alloc VMA alloc, can I just use it like that? I don't even know. Loki was expecting a Rust above everything known to man response. No. I use Rust since 5 days. Like, look, this is the real code base, and it's like 10,000 lines of C. So like I can you can relax. I'm not such a dude, so no. So how am I supposed to use that function? VMA create image Rust. Bro, Vulkanaline? Bro, what the fuck? Is there not any examples? Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my fucking thank you. But how, like, bro, what is this? Allocator dot create buffer, but you don't show me how to create the allocator? That's just not real, right? You can't tell me you what? After you create a VKMM allocator instance, oh my god. Allocator is equal to wait, what did you just say? Did I read that correctly, or VKMem? VKMem? What? Didn't I just install that? What is this? What? Do I need both packages? Are you telling me I need both? Extensive unit test and example. Some unit tests are ready, but not full coverage. Example isn't written. Likely will port the VIA sample to Ash and VKMM. So I don't really get this. Why usage? Yes. Extend create VMA compile. So why do I need both packages? Are they like in a weird cult where like there are like 5 packages for the same thing and they all need each other, or so I might as well just use or like, okay, I mean, let's add both, but this is like a slopification at its finest, because Aren't they supposed to basically do exactly the same thing? This is so weird. This is so weird. Can I... Okay. VKMM. And when I now say default, what argument do you want me to provide? Like value, create image. Weird. So yeah, I think we need an allocator. So this is like the thing. So let's have an allocator. It's equal to vk-mem allocator new with allocator creator. Okay. VMA create, I think it's in here somewhere. VMA create allocator, and we have that. Let's allocate, like we will obviously not do that here, so create info. It's equal to it's equal to allocator create info with the device. Hello, device. Okay, default, yes. User data, usage, preferred flags. Okay. Allocator, new. Okay, allocator create info. New. Oh, bro, what? Why? Why? This is like, ew. Ew. This is so weird. What the fuck? Okay, so the allocator is created, but let's create the allocator here. So let's have something like a allocator, and this will take in the logical device. Logical device, the instance, and the physical device. Consider removing the borrow. Okay, I've considered it. Right. So and then we. Like those arguments are getting kind of insane, so I'll have to think about how to fix that, but let's not think about it yet. And actually, just don't. Okay, let's fix ourselves again. So let's have an allocator, which is a vk-mem allocator. And then we can finally say allocator.create image. No, you're joking, right? Create image. There's literally a method called create image, by the way. And we want to do that. Finally. Okay. So VMA create image. So depth allocs. Okay, I think we don't need to manage that in Rust, so we can just say something like swap chain dot depth image. Oh my fucking god. Images. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome Kai. Great to see you. Expected. Okay, sorry. So at index, right? Expected image font. Expected font result image. Okay, so I think we should do that. Oh right. So we need to probably manage the allocation. Do you write your own messenger? Yes, I do that. Yeah. So let's have depth image allocs as well, and let's have a vk mem allocation. That's cool. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. We're working on it for like 5 days now. So yeah, we're just in the early stages. So can we do something like swap chain that and then swap chain dot depth images allocs at index is equal to that, and then this? We can. Nice. I might check the documentation for that. So create image. This function automatically creates an image, allocating memory for it, and binds the image to memory. If the function succeeds, you must destroy both image and allocation when you. Okay. So allocation. Can I not search into here? Allocation. So I think the main thing we need to do is just destroy the allocation. Yeah, I have github.com/cococry/faith. We should probably adjust the description for that. And I think there might be like to just quickly do something like checks, get clone, faith last. If you go into here, faith last, and what you can actually do is changing the backend to OpenGL, and then you cargo run. Yeah, no problem. We can actually try and see if it still runs, which it should with the old backend. Yeah, so basically we have implemented the entire text rendering engine to a point where we can render basically arbitrary Unicode text in a correct way. So wrapping already works. We have like left to right, right to left, and like correct correct interpretation of Unicode glyphs for Arabic, Hebrew, like all of the languages. So I think that's kind of important, especially like as the foundation. So we already have that. Yeah. Yeah, I want to see if, like, we have 14.9k. So yeah. Can I somehow change the video description to include the repo? Manage. Cyrillic alphabet, yes, it does. Cyrillic alphabet is not that hard compared to like Arabic alphabet and shit. So, like the text, like the text engine is already like fully implemented and optimized and like documented. So I already did all of that. The text engine alone is already like 1,500 lines of code. Yeah. And now we basically implement the Vulkan backend. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Creating the image. Create image. Create. Oh, bro. Right. I'm a little bit tired. Like, I think I might end the stream pretty soon. Because, yeah, it's pretty late for me. Okay, so we create the depth image, but why do we only create the depth image, by the way? Right. Okay, so let's kind of try to do that. So let's see. Let's image view info is going to be equal to something like image view create info default. I mean Mandarin like languages like Japanese, Korean, and etc. Yes, they are also very hard. Especially there are languages, by the way, that have horizontal, like vertical text. We actually don't support vertical text because this is like too much for me. Like it's not even that hard because like we want to just basically increment the counter in a horizontal way. I mean vertical way. But like there is vertical scripts. Let me see. Yeah. Like East Asian languages, bro. But like even like if it would work, the whole UI should like, you know, the whole UI will like look different. I mean, like how are you even supposed to do that? Is there even any like UI that really does vertical text? Yeah. I don't even know. Okay, so let's say image is going to be is going to be, I didn't think about that. Yeah, you kind of have to if you design that, but yeah, I kind of removed like a little bit, like postponed the thought about vertical text for me because like I'm not really implementing that like for real. Like that's insane. Anyway, so how do we get the image again? Just swap chain dot images at index, right? View type is going to be, and by the way, if you're wondering, I never used Rust before. This is the first project I do in Rust, so I'm kind of learning, right? Because I basically use C for all my project because C is like the most, like it's the best language. Like I don't want to do any like statements, like any too, how do you say that? Political statements, I guess, about languages, but C is like the language for everything that I have been using for the last like 3 years. So I just thought Rust is kind of the best alternative. And yeah, like what I saw with Rust is that it actually has very good support for Unicode, Grapheme, and BD and script handling stuff. So exactly that what I was trying to get working with the text shaping and text decoding. Rust is actually very very good at that, like especially like the library support. In C, doing that is also obviously possible, but it's a little bit more of a pain in the ass. Yeah. Best alternative for C++? Like C. Like straight up, just yeah. Definitely C, I would say. Okay, so let's say them. Yo, welcome. Like, I don't know why it says them, like, yeah, I really don't. Okay, so let's say ideal surface format is this red, right? Yeah, should be. Yeah, and then components is going to be probably something like component, well, component mapping. Component swizzle identity. Okay, cool. So let's do that. Let's remove that, and let's just do that. I don't know shit about coding. Explain what you're doing for a dumbass. Basically, so I'm writing an alternative for instant messaging, for Linux especially. That is basically just you have an app, you open it, it's a desktop app, it's fast, and it's just going to do one thing, and that is messaging your friends in a secure and safe way. That is also like highly optimized for speed. So for example, if you want to like scroll your message history up in a second, this should be possible, right? That's why we are basically going down to the roots basically and implementing a custom renderer for that. And because of that, we are now implementing a thing that is Vulkan, which is basically a way to talk to the graphics card in a very, very fast way. So yeah, that's basically just what we're trying to solve now. Yeah. So I hope that makes that clear. Okay, so sub-resource range. Okay, crazy. Aspect mask, base, mid, okay, I guess, yeah. Can I, this, thank you. VK image aspect flags color. Do you plan to make it person to person, I think, or peer to peer? I didn't really look into the whole actual messaging stuff yet. What I was basically setting up for the last like 4 or 5 days is the UI layer, right? Because we're literally doing UI from scratch, so that is taking a lot of engineering time. But if we are having that, what I can say is that I will first implement one-to-one messaging, just one-to-one text messaging, and eventually maybe image messaging. And then we will do groups, like many to one, which will be interesting, yeah. Alright, I understand 5%, but this shit looks and sounds cool, yeah. I have always wanted to start coding. I've watched hello YouTube videos and did some bullshit with AI. Yeah, that's like I have a lot of friends that are exactly like that, so they want to learn coding, and that's like how you learn it nowadays, or like how you get into it. But yeah, I think that's not even a bad way. I mean, you can do that and like eventually maybe have some kind of project you like, and then yeah, just go from there, right? Okay, so level count, base array layer, and layer count. Right, okay, so this should be it for those properties. We're still missing structure fields. I don't think so. Ah, okay, just that, right? And then we do default and that and that and that and that. Expected format, font surface format. Oh, can I do that? Nice. I think we did the same thing here. We didn't. So swapchain.fmt is a VK format. Okay. So let's see. What is swapchain.fmt? Get swapchain format. Get swapchain service format. Okay, and fmt is equal to. How do we, like, what do we that do? Yeah, okay. We do fmt. Okay. So we do exactly the same thing basically. Right, so this should work. This should work. Famous last words. View info, and then did you write? I'm seeing it on the second screen. So did you write co-render code? Yeah. So co-render is, but it's not done. But it's the compute, Tibase compute vector rendering engine. It's pretty good code. Thank you. But it's also not really trying to be pretty good code yet. Like, for example, this code here is actually trying to be pretty good code, like a lot. So if you just look at files, they're literally documented, they're optimized, they're like actual good code. And co-render is like, please give me that Vulkan shit. I like literally there's not a single comment in that entire code base, I think. But what is kind of well documented are the shaders, right? So yeah. Yeah, but co-render is like a very, very ambitious project. It sounds pretty easy, like not really easy, but not like it sounds it sounds as if the scope wasn't too extreme, but it's actually very extreme because there are no real references for that, you know? Because like the whole thing of the project is that it's a novel idea essentially, so nobody really has nice reference implementations for that kind of thing. So it's a lot more like a hassle to code things for co-render than any other thing, actually. Like actually, it's like the project that is like the most pain in the ass project that I've ever did. Especially because like the entire project is literally compute shaders. So for the last 2 months, I think, I didn't even really write any C code. I just wrote GLSL code. Yeah. Right. Okay, so let's try and do something like unsafe allocator.create image view. Bro, are you telling me, or should we, let me see. Create image. Yeah, okay. No. Oh, okay. It's actually a VK function. Didn't know that. Instance.get create image view. No. I guess I have to look at the docs. Image view. Oh my god. An Ash device. Okay. So probably like logical dev creates image view with the create info being the image create info, image view info. Dear God. And what do you mean, dear God? By the way, look at that resize. That's actually a crazy resize for a browser. I mean, let's look at YouTube's resize. I mean, it's awful. Yeah, that's basically it. So let me actually show checks wait last. Bro. It's probably a little bit hard to see through the YouTube encoding, but anyway. Okay, so allocation callbacks, none probably. And we want to assign that to the image views, right? So, and the, okay. So let's say something like swap chain dot image views at index is equal to unsafe. Expected found result. So probably that. Nice. So image views depth. It's like this. And it's going to be the image depth image info. Wait, what? Depth image info is actually not an image view create info, so view info and depth view info, bro. Are you serious? We actually have to create another one. I'm seeing live footage of the Pentagon being hacked. Bro. Oh. Okay. Anyways, I think we might be able to just copy that and do something like depth image view is, and the sub research range appears to be depth aspect mask. Okay, but we kind of not, we don't really care about this, which is good. And the image, okay, and the depth format, so let's say ideal depth format dot, wait, I think, yeah, just like that. The view type, the format, okay, looks good. This is depth images, right? So depth images. Yeah, okay, so what is that? Depth image mask. Bro, why does that even exist? Okay, I guess. Get a depth image mask of a VK format, apparently. So let's have a VK format, and it's going to return VK image aspect flags. Image aspect flags, okay. And we want to match FMT. Alright, so I mean, might as well copy that. Okay, so VK format D32 that. How do I in match like Rust match or okay, so or low or VK format D24 unum uint. Then we want to say return, and then I think we do this, return VK image aspect flags depth VK image aspect flags stencil. Right, okay, that makes sense. And then we do the same thing, expected pattern. I think that's just like weird because of the C code that is literally injected here. So let's say D32S floats, D16 unum. So we basically do the same on everything. So then why we like, okay, I guess let's just return. So like this, we will return image aspect depth. Like that. Let's see. I think we still will need, yeah, like that. So work, thank you. Expected comma. Stencil. Right. View info. This is going to be self get depth image mask off and watch format, by the way. Okay. Swap chain info ideal depth format. Yeah, okay. So image view type 2D, and this is going to be here, obviously. So aspect mask. Right. Okay. So this, and then we are going to say we want to create the depth image view info. And yeah. Coding for 2 hours straight is crazy work. Thank you, man. Really appreciate. Yeah, really appreciate it, I guess. Because, yeah, it kind of, yeah. Okay, so at this point we actually have created the swap chain. So this is insane. Bro, this function, man. Okay, so apparently we have never needed the image. So can we say this? Nice. Very, very nice. So we're probably, yeah, let's just put a fucking trace in here. Initialize Vulkan swap chain. Yeah, let's just say that. With height, and we can do the cool thing in Rust. And we will just say with height. Right, so are we going to check if the swap chain is going to work? We should probably do that. So let's say something like let swap chain is equal to self create swap chain. Now this function, bro, look at the arguments of this function. Okay, so swap chain. So we need to provide a swap chain. So I think we need to do something like let swap chain is equal to, and then swap chain. Can we not just zero initialize stuff in Rust, by the way? Rust zero initialize struct. Please format your code, probably. What? What? You need to... Is there not a thing to do that? No way. I just want to initialize it, but not do anything with that. Let's ask the thanker for the first time. Just default, yeah, okay. So let's see. Yo, nice stream, bro. How did you get your Firepack homepage to look like that? Keep cooking. You basically have to create a folder .config. Was it .config? Yeah, Firefox Home, and then yeah, you can just do this, and then this is basically the page. And then what you can do is there's an extension called new tab override. So new tab override, and it's just this, and it allows you to basically specify an URL here. And what you have to do is you have to localhost your thing, because it doesn't accept like local files, so you have to host that. And then you just like put the HTML file somewhere and serve that. And yeah, and then this is going to automatically open this, which will display this. Yeah, so that's it. Hope that helps. Right, so let's have a swap chain, bro. Swap chain default. Can I not? Literally, the clanker said I can. Mr. Clanker. Okay, I have to derive default. So let's derive default. Oh shit, that's cool as heck. I didn't know that was possible. I definitely do that. Thank you. Good luck with the clanker. Yeah, thank you, man. This is like so casual. I love that. Okay, so I probably have to, like, do I need to do debug? I don't really want to. Okay. Nice. Okay, I want to create the swap chain with instance, with swap chain. Hello, can I not? So, okay, with swap chain device. Swap chain device. I think we have to do swap chain def is equal to ash vk or ash. Like, what is a swap chain def even? Hash khr swap chain device. New with instance and the logical device. Right, so this is swap chain device, and then we just pass it, right? Expected mute swap chain. No. This is why do I get to be like this? Allocator. Okay, allocator, yeah. Surface should also work. Surface instance should also work. Logical device should also work. Physical device should work. How do we want to pass that? I think like this. Width should theoretically work. Let's just say for now we don't really pass the width, so let's just say something like this. And let's do that. And why do you expect allocator font result allocator? Right, so let's do this. Consider removing the borrow. The mute should be here. Logical device. Expected mute swap chain. It's literally a mute swap chain, bro. It's literally a mute swap chain. Do I need to do something like this? Okay. So this seems to work. And then we will just pass swap chain. So where's our renderer? Let's say swap chain is just going to be a swap chain. Okay, finally. We apparently don't need that, and that, and that, and that. And that, and that. Bro, already 700 lines of code? You're kidding me. What? We literally only just created the swap chain. Okay, but let's try if it works, or if it's going to crash my stream. It's only those options, by the way. So let's see. Cargo, run, release. Extension specifier does not exist. So picked Vulkan physical device. I think it's going to be about the extension, which is the swap chain extension. So swap something like KHR. Where do we do that again? Wait. Get swap chain extension. Here. I don't even see where we specify any extensions, so for real, like where? Swap chain like swap chain extension name, is it that? Create logic videos. Why doesn't it exist? I guess like it should. VKKHR swap chain. Don't know how to really print that thing. Into something like this. Yeah. Oh, to print a const I8 as a string and lost. Okay. So right. Okay. Okay, so this function shouldn't already do that. Right, okay. So we need to collect, but that's what we're doing, right? So that's kind of already what we're doing. But so we should kind of do something like as pointer dot to string. It's not available on out. As pointer. Or should I just do that? Initialization of an object has failed. Initialize Vulkan logical device. So where's that? Isn't that yeah. So apparently this just makes it so that the Extensions are completely empty or what? No, it's printed here. So this is supposed to work. So let's see, create a swap chain. Is the music? Yeah. Create swap chain. Let's say something like tracing info. What are you using to code Envim? Maybe it failed to create the swap chain actually. Yeah, I think it did. Yup, that failed. Alright, so let's see. I think we need to specify the queue families. Yeah. Right. Right, okay, so families is equal to vec graphics queue and present queue. So I think we should get them. Let's get them and say something like graphics queue primary index, present queue family index. It's actually not the index, right? So it's actually the queue. So what's the graphics queue? And just say queue, right? So vkq. Present queue. So graphics queue. Present queue. But bro, am I just like fucking delusional? Bro. It's the indices. What the fuck? Right. Graphics queue from the index. Present queue from the index. Families. Right, okay, so we say if graphics queue family index does not equal to present queue family index. Dude. We want to say that let's mute. And we say create info dot queue family index count image sharing mode. Okay. Image. Okay. Sharing mode concurrent. Alright. Bro. Create info dot index count is then 2 actually, and then create info dot q family indices is equal to families, and then can I please just do s pointer, please? Fuck you, bro. Maybe because it's I size. So is the indices, what is the indices? A U32, so can I do as U32 and it will work? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and then else we will say we have just 1, and we will say, what? We say 0? Okay, crazy. That kind of doesn't make sense to me. But anyway. How do I say null in Rust? I don't even know how to do that. This? Thank you. Sharing mode is then exclusive, alright. Cool, yeah, cool. Right, so let's say present queue. So graphics queue and present queue. Expected I size found queue. So family index. And family index. So can we finally please get that done with? Initializing has failed. Bro. Cannot be serious, right? Did we specify clipped? Yes, we did. Min image count is that, but why do we max image count and image count? We should do min, right? Or at least max and then min. Yeah, so definitely min. Still failing, okay. It's really cool like that the area message is so descriptive. Right. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it here. We implemented this shit. I don't really want to debug it at like, what's the time? 1 AM? Yeah, at this time. Because I don't feel like I will be able to do it. Let's just commit Vulkan swap chain implementation and push. Right, gamers? Where's my power control? Yeah. I love being copyright striked, by the way. I love it, yeah. Is this the ways you wanna be? Use this sound often. Okay, that's also cool. Right, okay. Yeah, I leave it here. Thank you guys for the stream, and yeah, we'll see us next time, guys. Bye bye.